All right, welcome to Web Dev Wednesday. Today, let's talk a little bit about using JavaScript Map in your applications. So JavaScript Map is a data structure you can use inside your apps. And it basically provides a little bit more than you'd be able to get out of like arrays and objects and stuff. It's iterable, which is important when you're looping over stuff, or you want to use it with generator functions. All around, it's a pretty useful data structure for your applications. So let's take a look at what you might want to use it for. Okay, so here I have an array of employee information. I've got their names, I've got the departments that they're in, and their start dates. Let's go and make a dictionary. So dictionary is just going to be an object that I can treat like a hash map, right? It has quick access to find them. And I want this to be sorted by, not sorted by, defined by the names. So what I can do here is I can go and say something like, for let O of employees. Let's go with E. Let E of employees. So we're going to want to get the properties off of the employee. Let's get the name, department, and start date. Then we can say something like name is going to be equal to the department and start date. It's perfectly fine. This is going to lead to very quick lookups. So I can do something like logger, and let's just grab this here, and we're just say dictionary names. We're going to do a index lookup and just run it, and we'll find that employee's information here. Now we're not keeping the name in the object anymore since that's a key, so we're just going to have that. And we might have another list of employee names somewhere that we can use. Pretty useful, right? So this is how you can use an object to do something very similar. But in our case, maybe what we want to do is that we want to use a map instead. Okay, so this is just a little different here. For that, we're not going to set this. Let's get rid of the dictionary object. I don't think we need it anymore. Let's create a map. So we're going to initialize a new map. And what we're going to do instead is that we're going to say that map.set name, and that's going to be equal to the department start date. We're just going to log out the size now. So we're going to log out map.size. And this should be, I believe it's 10. We had 10 employees in the original employees array. So yeah, we have 10 employees. And here, so now what we can do is we can go ahead and we can iterate over this array now. So we say for let m of map. And we can go ahead and log out the m. And see what we get. All right, so we have an array that's going to actually be the key, which is the name, and the value, which is going to be the object. That means that we can destructure this into a key value pair. And now we can go ahead and log out the key. It's going to be key, and then the value is going to be the value. Now we may have to stringify this. Let's try it out, see what happens. Yeah, so it's object. So we'll do a JSON dot stringify that value, run it again. And there we go. Now we have the stringified object that we can go ahead and view here. Okay, so now maybe we want to do something a little more interesting here. We want to go ahead and find a particular employee, right? So we're going to go ahead and do a very simple check. We're going to say that if map has, and let's pick some Simon here. Simon McClure has not been performing his duties recently. So if he is currently an employee, we're going to delete that employee. We're going to remove Simon from the array. And now we're going to go ahead and log out. Okay, so that's how many employees we got. And let's say before the firing, let's run this again. All right, so before firing any employees, we had 10 employees. After firing, now we only have 9 employees. Okay, so the one thing we can also do is we can go ahead and say that, well, all right, let's go and loop over all of the employees. We're going to get the names, which remember is going to be equal to the key. So we can actually ask the map for the keys. This is going to return another iterator that we can iterate over. And we can go and say that if the map has the key, which we know it does, we're going to go ahead and delete that employee. Name. My bad. Name. And there we go. We can list out everybody that's been fired. And again, everyone was fired. But you know what? That's kind of a scorched earth policy, but not scorched earth enough. Because if we don't want anyone in our map, we can just clear it. And immediately, everyone is gone. Now that is a scorched earth policy. Now I don't just need to be able to set using the name field for the key here. I can actually use an object for the key, and everything's going to work exactly as the way it did before. Now what I can also do is something like say that if map.has, and we're going to go ahead and say the employees array, and we'll just pick a random employee here. Let's go ahead and logger out the map.get employees 5. All right, so that is the employee number 5. Again, we didn't put the name in here. All right, so that is our employee from employee number 5 in legal, and we can pull them out of there. So you can also have objects being the keys in your map. Your pretty much any primitive values could be in there. Objects, strings, numbers. It's pretty versatile. What's really neat is that the keys are going to maintain their structure, which is really cool and makes it very consistent. So yeah, the JavaScript map data structure is something that's incredibly useful, very versatile, that you can use inside your own applications. Like I said, you may not always have a need for it, but it is something that really proves itself useful once you actually start using it and gain the hang of it, right? And taking full advantage of everything it does. Now, there could be an argument to say that an object access might be faster than accessing the same values from a map. Maybe. I couldn't really say for sure, but I would think you'd have to have a pretty large data set in order for that to be the particular case. But again, I'm not talking so much about performance here. I'm talking more about utility and versatility of what you can do working with maps. So give it a shot, give it a try. Throw this into your web dev workflow and see if you enjoy it. Thanks a lot. I just want to let you know that I've started a new podcast called The Bounding Box, where I'll be talking about geo development, web development, and everything in between. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and plenty of other places that you can find podcasts. There are a few episodes available now. We are in a bi-weekly schedule, so every other week. I'll be having guests on talking about various topics, so please tune in, please subscribe, and let me know what you think. Thank you.